Sri Lanka, Crisis and Recovery. Video series. 8th video, Mismanagement of State-Owned Enterprises Contributed to the Crisis. I am Shanti Mendis. This video series is to provide insight to the general public about the national crisis in Sri Lanka. Information for these videos are from a book entitled Sri Lanka, Tears and Dreams of a Fragile Democracy, published by me in 2022. This video helps you to learn about state-owned enterprises, why they are running at a loss, and what could be done to make them more efficient. Misgovernance of state-owned enterprises contributed to the economic crisis. There are 527 state-owned enterprises in Sri Lanka. Most of them run at a loss and have to be supported by the Treasury. When needed, they take loans from other government agencies and from state banks. Why are state-owned enterprises running at a loss? There are many reasons. High employee costs, low productivity, lack of incentives to employees, budget constraints, and lack of internal audits are some of them. Total losses from state-owned enterprises in 2020 were estimated at 9% of the gross domestic product. The public sector workforce in state-owned enterprises has expanded over the past 15 years due to politicians using state-owned enterprises to provide jobs for their political supporters. About 1.4 million people are currently employed in the public sector. For example, state tax revenue in 2021 was 1,298 billion rupees, of which 1,115 billion rupees was spent on public sector salaries and pensions. How much is lost? Let us focus on 3 state-owned enterprises: the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Sri Lanka Airlines, and Lanka Satosa. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, according to the 3rd report of the Committee on Public Enterprises, in 2018, the corporation incurred a huge loss of 105 billion rupees. As of April 2022, the total liability of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation to the 2 state-owned banks reached a hefty 1,224 billion rupees. According to the findings of the Auditor General's report, there has been a fraud of 36 billion rupees related to the import of fuel oil in 2022. So obviously the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation needs reform. And this will be an important reform activity that has to be undertaken by the new government. Sri Lankan Airlines. As of March 2021, Sri Lankan Airlines owed 1.46 trillion rupees to the 2 state-owned banks. Some presidents not only have mismanaged this airline, but have also used the national airline like their private property. For example, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa sacked the manager of Emirates Airlines and renationalized Sri Lankan Airlines in 2008. The reason was that the airline could not provide him and 35 officials seats to travel to Britain. When Emirates left the company in 2008, the airline was making a profit of 4.4 billion rupees. Lanka Sathosa. With over 445 outlets across the island, Lanka Sathosa was set up to sell goods at government-controlled prices for the benefit of low-income families. However, due to poor governance, Sathosa has fallen into disrepute in the past few years. For example, a former cooperative minister was accused of taking goods worth 5 million rupees from Sathosa without any payment. In 2020, Sathosa lost an estimated 102 million rupees in a sugar scam. In another scam, a large amount of garlic to be delivered to Sathosa was looted from the port and illegally sold to outside traders. Then, data related to the garlic scam were erased from Sathosa computers. All these show mismanagement of Lanka Sathosa, which needs to undergo reform. What should be done to make government-owned enterprises more efficient? Giving more autonomy, strengthening corporate governance, digitalization of budgets and accounts to improve transparency, removal of political interference, and enhancing the powers of the boards of state-owned enterprises for strategic decision-making are some of the measures that can be considered. Thank you.